All right, sports fans, how's everybody out there doing? William Martin coming at you one more time here on YouTube with another edition of the 300 Pounds of Sports Knowledge Podcast. Now, a loss today by the Arizona Cardinals gave the Los Angeles Rams the NFC West title for the second time in the last 4 years. But the Rams let a golden opportunity go by the wayside as they blew a 17 to nothing lead at home today to the San Francisco 49ers. And in doing so, the Rams went from being the second seed in the NFC playoffs to the fourth seed as they now must prepare to host the Arizona Cardinals next weekend. Now, the Rams are entering the postseason with high expectations as this team is loaded with star power, and that star power includes the likes of Aaron Donald, Jalen Ramsey, Von Miller, and Odell Beckham Jr. But what the Rams do or don't do in the postseason is going to come down to what quarterback Matthew Stafford is able to do. Now, over Stafford's last four games, including today, he has thrown 8 touchdowns, but he's also thrown 8 interceptions. And we saw another pair of costly interceptions today for Los Angeles, including the game clincher for San Francisco in overtime. Now, the Rams gave up a ton to acquire Stafford from the Detroit Lions. And the playoffs is where he must deliver, as things are very different right now at this point in Stafford's career. Because I mean, honestly, up to this point, he spent all of his career in Detroit with the Lions. You go 4-12, you go 5-11. Nobody really cares because nobody expected anything from you there. But this time around with the Rams, the expectations are through the roof. This team has shown that they can make the playoffs. They got to the Super Bowl a few years ago. And honestly, with this team right now, it's championship or bust. Matt Stafford has never won a playoff game in his career. Obviously, there's no time like the present to change that. But honestly, will he change? And honestly, that's the $1 million question here because at this point he is what he is. He's a gunslinger quarterback, and you know what you get with gunslingers. They take a lot of risk, sometimes high risk, high reward. But the thing is, you have to be careful with those risks in the postseasons. Interceptions are very costly, and pick sixes, especially if you throw multiple pick sixes in a game, are very, very difficult to come back from. Now, make no mistake about it. Matthew Stafford is not the only person that deserves blame for the Rams losing today. There's no reason in the world that the Rams defense, with as much talent as they have, number one, couldn't hold the lead, couldn't seal the deal, especially late in that contest. You're up 24-17. That's what you're paid to do defensively. And your stars are supposed to go out there and make plays. They didn't do that. Then on top of that, we saw this Niners offense get the opening kickoff to begin overtime and eat more than 7 minutes off of the clock, which did result in the game-winning field goal from Robbie Gold. But nonetheless, with Stafford, he's got to step up. This team as a whole has to step up because their road to the Super Bowl just got a lot tougher. Because now, instead of possibly facing the Eagles or the Saints, the Rams are now going to face a Cardinals team that split with them in the regular season. On top of that, the Cardinals beat the Rams in LA. And right now, you look at Arizona's record, Arizona is much better on the road this year as opposed to what they were at home. So they're very comfortable playing on the road. Of course, this Rams defense has to be up for the challenge to slow down Kyler Murray. The Cardinals are expected to have DeAndre Hopkins back, but I mean, seeing him sitting on the sideline to this afternoon with a pair of crutches in his hand, that's not, very optimistic that he can, get himself game ready for next week. But, the Cards should have J.J. Watt back as well, and that will definitely increase their pass rush. But nonetheless, if the Rams are able to get by the Cardinals next week, do you really trust Matthew Stafford to go on the road and beat potentially Aaron Rodgers and Tom Brady? Because that's what the Rams and Matthew Stafford are going to have to do if they're going to have to if they want to get out of the NFC. So you're looking at it right now. To beat those guys, you have to be on your A game, and in the postseason in general, you have to be on your A game. You're not going to have a lot of situations like Stafford and the Rams have had over the last 4 weeks where your quarterback is throwing so many interceptions and you're able to escape from it. So it's one of those things, it's put up or shut up time. And it's not just for Matt Stafford, it's also for Sean McVay. You look at this team, again, he's the coach. He's got to get these guys ready. They got to go out there and execute, and they have to go out there and make it happen. So it's going to be interesting to see who's going to step up for the Rams. But they're entering the postseason with a very bitter taste in their mouths. Again, they let a golden opportunity go by the wayside today. And I know that the 49ers have had the Rams numbers. It's now 6 games, 6 times in a row, rather. And that's the span of 3 years where the Rams have been unable to defeat San Francisco. But you had so many things riding on the table today. You had Jimmy Garoppolo returning for the 49ers as starting quarterback with a bad thumb. He threw 2 interceptions. You still couldn't overcome that. Of course, Debo Samuel has been a factor, for the 49ers all season long. And of course, why would that change today? But if you're the Rams, if you're Matthew Stafford, you can't go out like this. So somebody has to step up. Stafford has to play better. And I guarantee you, if Stafford keeps playing the way that he has done over these last 4 games of the regular season, I don't care how much star power that the Rams have. I don't care how many future Hall of Famers that they have on this team. Their trip to the postseason will be a short one. So, folks, that is going to wrap it up. And as always, I want to take this time out to thank you for tuning into the 300 Pounds of Sports Knowledge podcast here on YouTube. I want to take the time out to thank all of you fine folks out there for tuning in. And if you have not already, please feel free to subscribe to this channel. Now, if you're on Twitter, please feel free to follow me at 300 Pounds of Sports. And like I always say, if you follow me, it'll be my pleasure to follow you right back. There's also the sports discussion group on Facebook at the Sports Depot 365. You can check it out, drop a line, and be a part of one of the better sports debating sites going on social media. So, once again, fine folks, my name is William Martin, signing off, saying take care and have yourselves a wonderful day.